Hell yeah. As you can see from the mess in the background, and Shoshana here, it's time for another Inside Out cosplay. Hello girls, guys and non-binary pals, I'm Salmon and this is my channel, Jolly Salmon. I'm a cosplayer from Poland and I make videos about cosplay and sustainable living. This week I'm sharing my darkest secrets when it comes to my Yasuo cosplay. So there is this Polish YouTuber called Violet Cosplay that I am very inspired by, and I have watched all of her videos. You can check her channel here, and she basically makes a series called Cosplay or Cosplay from the Inside, and in this series she talks about how she made the costumes, what clever things she implemented into them, and it might help someone that wants to make the same costume as she did. And so I decided to write to her and ask her if I can do this for my YouTube channel. It's a great idea for content in the time of the pandemic because there's not many conventions, and videos like what to take to a convention or how to prepare for a convention are absolutely useless right now, and I wanted to record those. So here I am explaining how I made my costumes and what I am proud of and what I am not proud of. While we're talking about being proud of a costume, I am incredibly proud of my Yasuo costume. It's my first bigger costume. I love wearing it. I love the reactions that people have when I am walking around a convention in a Yasuo cosplay. And I love the comments on the internet. I love the jokes I can make. The only not fun thing about Yasuo is some of the comments get repetitive, and yes, I know that Yasuo is the worst character in game. That's why I cosplayed him. No, really, I did cosplay Yasuo because my boyfriend plays him, and I wanted to see what he sees in the character, and also I wanted to like the character more because I hated him. I'm an AD carry player, and Yasuo is the stuff of my nightmares, but now that I've made a costume of him and I grew onto him, I love this character. He's so fun. He is a brooding drama king and I love it. Also, I had a thing for blue costumes for a while, so I really wanted to make the base skin. And that's what I did in 2018. The debut of this costume was scheduled at PyrCon 2018, and it was the debut of this costume. And then I took it to 3 contests. I took it to Gry Offline 2018, I took it to Capitulash 2018, and then I took it to RemCon 2. So at Gry Offline I got a very nice word from the jury. They told me that although the contest didn't have an award for the best skit, they really liked my performance because it was something fresh and funny about League of Legends that they have grown sort of tired throughout the years. You can watch the performance here. Then at Capitulash I won an honorable mention in this costume because of my hair, my wonderful wig that amazed Noga Industries, and she decided that my Defying Gravity wig and also my funny skit would grant me an honorable mention from her. And finally at RemCon 2 I decided to perform the same skit in my Yasuo cosplay and I won the best costume category! When my friend was announced to have won the best skit category, I was very down in the dumps. I was so sad because my skit was very good, because I've heard it from the other judges, and I was really hoping for this award, and then they hit me with the best costume category. So it was one of the best days of my life, and I still love winning. So my Yasuo has a very special place in my heart, and I'm going to show you the whole costume. We're going to start with the pants, because this is the part of the costume that I am not able to actually put onto the mannequin. So the pants are bloomers that have been elongated in order to fit me. So the original pattern was actually up to this point. It ended right by the crotch, and then I decided, no, I want to make it longer. It's the perfect shape, I want to make it long. So I did. And then I painted the things that I saw on the Yasuo model. I painted them with acrylics. Don't do that, it looks so messy, look at it. Look at it, it's so messy, don't do that. Use flock foil or flex foil. I was also very bad at hemming things, so this is all unhemmed. It has an elastic inside, but you can see how the shape of it is so bad. So I have learned a lot since making this costume. I have to cut all of these because they're making me go insane. The second part of this costume that I'd like to talk about is the collar. The collar is made from 3 foam pieces that are like this, like a coffee filter. And then it goes onto my head like this. And that's how I look. And the painting I did on it is done with acrylics, and all of the distressing is done with coffee grounds, with tea, with eyeshadows, and also with some diluted acrylic paint for the dark blue splotches. I think the weathering job is not that bad actually, but the paint job is. And also it's glued together like this, so don't do it, kids. It looks so bad. Like, gluing things on with fabric glue is fine, but don't leave unhemmed edges. I bet I could have done it like in a better way. And the whole cowl of this costume is made from a large rectangle piece that was draped in place by me and my mom, just going like this. So what I'm really proud of is actually how this painting looks, but this one is a no. The next piece is some Unmentionables. This is a regular bra with a lot of cut up t-shirts sewn into a very long strip and dyed with tea and coffee in order to create a bandage-like type of bra. It was supposed to look like what Mulan is wearing in the scene that Shang finds her. I know these are supposed to be like bandages, so I made bandages that were not see-through, and every time I wear Yasuo, I have to wrap myself in this. I wish I was proficient enough with my machine to sew something that would just zip up and look like bandages, but I didn't. So now every time I want to get into Yasuo, I have to suffer. I am not going to put this on Shoshana because it's going to take forever. So this is how it looks, and it's one of the most complicated parts of this costume. On to this monstrosity. This is a real ship line that I bought from one of my cosplay acquaintances, and he made Yasuo back in 2014, I think, and I bought his whole costume for like nothing basically. But he was willing to sell it for nothing because it was one of his first proper costumes. So I repainted this shipwreck of rope. See what I did there? Because it's a ship rope and it's a shipwreck because it's so heavy and it's so badly done by me. But I wear it because I haven't sewn a new one. So it's painted with golden brown acrylics, and I basically made my whole shower golden brown because I was painting it in the shower because I was scared I would get, you know, paint all over my floor, and I did, but in the shower. So it goes onto my hips because it makes the whole, it can be stretched, and then it's constructed like a lasso, so it tightens. And I have to rearrange it a lot when wearing it. So I don't recommend this thing. I have to do something about it. Okay, now onto the part you've all been waiting for. The armor. So the armor is actually stuck onto my body with pieces of leggings that have Velcro on them. So this is actually a leg piece that looks like this. It has a little flip-flop thing and it has a hole for my heel. It looks awful. Like, it looks so awful when you look at it up close. It looks good in photos because no one sees this side. And then we have some leg armor. This is the shin armor, and this looks like this from the back. And it basically attaches like this to my legs. The shin socks are actually unhemmed and they get put underneath my trousers and then they just hang in there. I also have some foot armor. It basically sticks onto my feet, onto the socks, like this. And that's how I wear them. The hand armor is actually asymmetric. The right hand is supposed to be shorter because it's supposed to be a home to only one piece of armor. So this is how I wear it. And then I put my right gauntlet on. This is my right gauntlet. You can see the Velcro here is black and it's also black on the legging part. On the left under armor piece, the Velcro is blue. And on the gauntlet for the left arm, the Velcro is also blue. I did it by accident, actually. So this is how it looks. And now it's the hardest part. I also have a little hand armor thing for my left hand. But now I think this might be one of my favorite pieces. It's made out of a belt that my dad stopped wearing and out of some foam covered in faux leather and some hot glue and a foam ring and another foam ring, and this is kept in place by magnets, and it gets put on before I actually put on my cowl, and it stays on my shoulder. So now I wear my favorite piece I've ever made, the left hand armor. This magnet here attaches to this magnet here, and then this Velcro here attaches to the sleeve. So I do it like this and like this. Yeah. And there are magnets on the inside of the other parts and Velcro on the ends. And now it's done. I then put on my cowl and I'm Yasuo. You can see it looks like this. It's supposed to be more like this. I can always adjust it. So now onto the sword. The sword is made from EVA foam with a wooden core. However, the wooden core ended like here or here, and it was so short that the sword itself started bending. So I had to insert a wire in order to elongate it so it would stop being that bendy. It still has a slight bend, but that's okay, it's just a foam prop. It was my first sword that I made, so it's still full of mistakes, and when I made it first I didn't have a Dremel. And then when I got a Dremel, I basically ruined the texture of it with the Dremel, but it was before the last competition I mentioned, so I just finished it as fast as I could with some paint job. And I think it looks good on my wall, it looks good in TikToks and like in photos, but like the rest of the costume, it doesn't look that good up close. But it's okay, we all start somewhere. Now, what element could I have missed that is very important to Yasuo, and I got very acclaimed for it, and everyone seems to mention it whenever I wear Yasuo? Yeah, it's the wig. So the base for the wig is actually so heavy. The whole wig is so heavy because it was my first construction like this, and Kinpactsu Cosplay hasn't made her YouTube video, so I only had a vague idea of what I want to do from a Pinterest article on how to make a high ponytail on a wig. So I sewed the wefts the other way as they should be, and it's a lace front that wasn't big enough for my head, so I had to improvise and made this little construction from some tights and a band-aid to glue the hair onto in order to look like some sideburns, because the wig ended right here and that was it, so I had to improvise. I severely missed how big the wig should be, so I had to sew in this whole part. I had to sew it in from another wig because it was just too small for my head. I couldn't fit it, and I have already glued the hairs here. So as you can see, there is a metal construction in here, and there is a bolt that has been screwed in there, and it is glued with epoxy glue and a lot of hot glue to this screwable joint, yeah, and then I have the ponytail. The ponytail is in a very rough shape because I've been using it a lot lately, and it's also never been very good. I have to wash it and I have to redo the whole wig, so stay tuned for that because there is going to be a tutorial for that when I get to it. So the whole ponytail screws onto my head like this, and it is so heavy. But I didn't know any better. I made the construction inside of this metal because that's what my mom recommended to me, and she is an engineer, so I listened to her. But we didn't anticipate how heavy it's going to be. So every time I wear Yasuo, I have to be very, very careful because I want to take him off. So I rarely wear the ponytail, I only wear it for photos and for like videos, and then I screw it off and I sit without it. So that's how I spent my first PidCon. The whole wig is kept in place by gluing the hairline and by these two combs. So a Yasuo resolution for me is actually to make this wig again and make it wearable and bearable, because I really like wearing Yasuo. I don't think it's safe. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little piece of my cosplay history. I hope you learned something from it, and look how beautiful Shoshana is looking today. Look at her, she's thriving. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos, and also give me a like maybe because it helps with engagement. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos, and also if you have any advice, suggestions, questions for future videos, let me know in the comments down below. Remember, all of my social media is down in the description, as well as downloadable blueprints for all of my misfortune props and some other stuff that I don't remember at this moment because I've made so many. You can also commission me to do a blueprint for you, DM me on Instagram for details. If you want to support my channel or my costumes, maybe make Yasuo great again, then consider visiting my Ko-fi or my Patreon. The links are below in the description. Now I have to say goodbye, right? I don't want to say goodbye. Bye guys!